Hi, my name is Faizah Harina and I'm from EGP Block 4. Today I'll be doing a book review, Triumph by Caroline Jessup. This is Caroline Jessup and this is her story. Triumph is the follow-up of the first book, Escape, that explains more about the tragedy of the polygamous community in FLDS and how she successfully escaped the cult. Before I start with the second book review, allow me to talk about the information or a few background review of the first book, which is Escape.
Investigation into the FLDS church in Texas continues to unfold.
In Caroline Jessup.
You're Caroline Jessup.
Carolyn Blackmore Jessup.
What were you taught as a little girl about polygamy?
I was just told that we were a special, chosen, and the only people on the earth that God was even working with. It was terrifying, really.
At the age of 18, she was married to a 50-year-old highest-ranking man in FLDS. FLDS stands for Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. As the fourth wife, she was physically and mentally abused with a ruthless competition against sister wives for their husband's attention. This is in order to ensure their basic needs such as protection for their children and foods. She ends up leaving him after her 8th child in her 30s and now happily in love with her supportive boyfriend Brian. She was fortunately given a child support and also permitted to attend college. This experience built the determination to fight abuse for a better life of her children and the future. I will start with the first half of the book. The first half of the book is about the yearning for Zion Ranch by Texas law enforcement in 2008, ended up placing over 400 children in a foster home while investigating the alleged abuse. And the call of the young woman named Sarah Barlow remained anonymous. This part of the book is mainly deals more about the court case and legal ramification. Caroline talked about women are treated is better for the males to disrespect and how the children were shown only a little affection from the parents in the YFZ. They also believe that God will answer the prophet's prayers only if he had an obedient and faithful people. If one person broke the fast, that could mean that the prophet's prayer went unanswered. These children have been drilled by this lifestyle, and if the kids are told by the prophet to not eat for 3 days, they will not dare touch any single morsel that may jeopardize everyone else. Caroline was a great aid to the CPS workers in understanding the FLDS culture and how they prevented the treating of deceased children. As a former of FLDS woman, she was asked to assistance with the YFZ situation, especially with regards to working with the children who had been placed to a compound, such to help with child advocates and courts and police, etc. However, children were returned to their families despite all her hard work to fight. This part of the book basically explained how she was pulled back into FLDS lifestyle after her escape, and the only thing she hates is her oldest daughter Betty that went back to FLDS church and her dad when she turned 18. Finally, the last half of the book. This part is a little bit more interesting as she talks about the events of her latest stories that help her break the FLDS mindset and prepare for the escape. She basically added a few additional information to her first book from her first book on how she escaped. Basically, a black man witnessed regarding the abuse directed to her in a restaurant and stood up to her husband. She started to realize that not all men can be the same and some might treat women with respect. Every night, she secretly listened to Dr. Laura's radio show behind a locked door. This opened her eyes on how a life should be. Overall, I feel like this book is a supplement to the first book. However, it's worth the read and it's very insightful and how courageous this woman is and how she's very genuine on forgiving attitude. So that concludes my book review of Triumph and I hope you enjoy it. Bye!